secondary school teachers, stop training the children of this generation like the way you raised us 10-20 years ago. Yes, this video is for secondary school teachers and secondary schools in Nigeria. My message to secondary school Nigerians: stop training the children of this generation the way we are being trained 20-15 years ago. You know what? I've come to realize that majority of people are wicked because of the wickedness they went through in the hands of our parents and our uncle, our guardian, or the older ones that trained us those days. Yes, that's what I've discovered. Because tell me, this is 2025. Why will you be training children the way we are being trained? While I was secondary school, I have so many traumatic experience in secondary school. Majority of these teachers are forgotten that we too were human beings. We are kids, we are not robots. That sometimes we wake and we will not even be happy or have a jolly mood to move on with the day. There are sometimes we don't feel like going to school, but we'll be forced to school because we are kids. There are sometimes we are slow. Nobody can do anything to us right now as adults. Nobody can do anything to us right now as adults. But back then as kids, we were bullied by the adults of those times. A children gets late to school. You don't know why he or she gets late to school. They put us on assembly and flog us mercilessly. I remember one time when I was coming, that man is dead. It's not good to talk about dead person. Our PT chairman. That day they told us to buy broom. I went to Ikosi High School. They told us to buy broom. I bought the broom. I was coming. I was ready late. I think school resumed by 8 back then. I think it was like 8:15 or 8:20 back then, because we trekked the distance. We trekked back then from my house to school. I was living in my 12 or Kushofe, and my school is Ikosi High School. At least I'll still trek normal trekking. I'll still trek up to 1 hour plus before I get to Ikosi High School. And sometimes we run. I was bringing the broom that day. My PT chairman called me. I think I was in SS1. PT chairman SS1, SS2. PT chairman come and said, "Bring your broom, let me see the broom." When this man took my broom, this man used that broom and beat my head several times that I ran 440. Up till now, that experience, I'm still traumatized by it. These people didn't know how many distance I have to walk before I get to school. They don't know the number of distractions I will have on the road. But because they were also trained like that during their time too, any sporting the flog, that is the same way we are being trained then. And that's how most parents these days, most adults these days, most teachers these days, most schools these days are training the children of nowadays. Instead of them to sit down and think and improvise, okay, this 2025, how can I raise this kid differently, different from the way that our own guardian raised us? Even if I'm going to use their pattern, how can I advance it that will be less brutal and I'll get results from the kids of this generation? But no, that is why even in university, some lecturer will not give you A because they didn't get A, because some lecturers in their own time were sadists and they didn't give them the opportunity to shine. They too, they would deliberately be failing children that are writing their courses. Because this discussion does not it cut across secondary, it cut above or across more than secondary schools. It is in all institutions. But today I'm actually talking about secondary schools. Few days ago, a few days ago, I was closer to my house, the secondary school. As I was walking past my house with my morning workout, I saw the teacher scolding a girl. The girl was crying. It was late already though, past 8, and he was telling the girl to go back home, shouting and scolding. And the real me, I can't see and I will not talk. I told the man, I said, "Sir, why are you raising these children the way we are being raised then? Back then too, when we get into school, they'll close the door, they'll not allow us enter the school. If they allow us enter the school, they tell us to go and cut grass. They would treat us like slaves and animals. It's not supposed to be like that. This kid is late. You don't know why this kid is late. You don't know why the kid is late. You don't care to find out. You just saw the girl coming. You told the girl to come out to go back home. Go back home to where? While you are supposed to find out why the girl came late to school, and to help her solve it or call her parents to guide her in assisting her to come early. The man was saying, I should not put my mouth. I should go. I said, no, you can't tell me not to put my mouth. The truth is the truth. Life has changed. This is 2025. You can't train these children the way we have been trained 20 years ago. You know, even though the girl too was slightly rude, the 14-year-old girl was slightly rude, I shall try as much as possible to end that issue. And I told the girl to kneel down and beg the teacher before his mind came down and told her to go into the school. What am I trying to say? Secondary school of Nigeria, stop training the children of this generation the way we are being trained. During those times, we were trained with hatred. We are trained with unnecessary beef. We are trained with brutality. Even though we know some kids might be difficult one way or the other, but I still feel there's a way we can be less brutal and we will get results. As far as you don't create unnecessary familiarity with these kids, because there's every chance that there's going to be disrespect when you create unnecessary familiarity with kids. Not even kids alone. Anybody you create unnecessary familiarity with, they will definitely disrespect. But the main content of my video is secondary schools teachers or secondary schools of this generation, they should learn how to upgrade, how to improvise, how to make research on how to train the schools or children of nowadays, the children of nowadays, with less brutality and getting results. That is how you hear that some teachers, some secondary school or some schools, they are beating children here, they beat, there's mark. This is because they didn't use their brain. They are still using the same pattern that we were being trained back then. Am I saying children should not be beaten? I'm not saying that. Some children needs to be beaten, but there are techniques to it that would make you guys get results with less brutality. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel as you're watching this video. Follow my pages on Facebook, Instagram, and don't forget to drop your comment. Thank you very much. God bless.